Gosh. Okay, here we go. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with Esther. Hope you've had a great week this week. And tonight with me, I have the lovely, lovely Shauna Hall-Williams. We're going to explore a little bit more about this young lady, loving the look, loving the background, loving the energy that she brings. She's also a presenter. She's all the way from the USA. I know it's just across the pond, but I love it when I say all the way from. It sounds dramatic. So, Shauna, thank you so much for coming on. It's a real blessing, a real privilege.
Thank you for letting me come sit on the sofa with you. It's so cool to be with Esther.
Let's snuggle. Well, Shauna, before we go any further, just give the audience today an insight into who is Shauna. So, who is Shauna in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell?
So if I was to speak in third person and tell everybody, who is Shauna? Shauna is the bus. I'm the doorway. I'm the bus driver. I'm the one who gets everyone where they need to go. I am your destiny driver. I am the one, the lamp. You know how we had Paul Revere?
Yeah.
Run and give you the news.
Yeah.
Will probably be the female version of Paul Revere. And our sister, I would have to say the Harriet Tubman movement, everything underground, because I want to make sure that wherever your destiny lies, wherever your gift is, I want to be that person to help you to reach it.
Absolutely. So this therefore goes into, I've got a track that I've pulled up that I feel symbolizes you and what you're about. I was actually going to go for the Rocky one, but this, so when you came on, I was going to have that tune.
Well, you know that's me all day. You know that's me all day. I got to have that blast.
But before I play that tune, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know who I've got on the show tonight, I've got Eddie Saunders from the New Jersey Connections, and one of his mainstay tunes was Love Don't Come Easy. I mean, that was a tune. It was the tune. And then after him, I've got a young lady by the name of ThreeBomb. She's got a new single out. She's an independent artist called ThreeBomb. She's got a new single out called Forever. And then on the last part of the show, I've got Beth Griffith-Manley. And she's the daughter of one of the Funk brothers, one of the latest, not latest, one of the legends, the Funk brothers, Johnny Griffith. So we've got a really packed show for you tonight. But I've got this signature tune that I'm going to dedicate to this lovely, lovely lady.
Yo, watch out now.
Watch out, one.
I'm on the rooftop. I'm on the rooftop, so be careful. I can't go off the roof.
Let's see if I can pull it up because this is just downloaded. But if this doesn't download, here we go. Let's see if I can pull it up quickly. It's in the twirly-whirly thing. You can do all sorts of fancy things on the StreamYard now. It's fantastic. You can get really carried away. But yes, here we go. Here we go. Hopefully the twirling's going to stop now. Is it going to? Yeah, let's just play this.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
This is what I wanted to pull up for you.
Now there was a time when we used to say,
and that's playing a bit better. I'm trying to get to the part that says sisters are doing it for themselves because
now you know I'm emotional. You know I'm emotional.
Why?
You know I'm emotional. You're gonna make these tears come down. Oh my God. Oh, Esther.
Look at my earrings stand up on the end as well. Look at that. Ping. Because for me, the energy that I get around you, Shauna, is that you are a sister that's doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for others. You're a sister who's driving things forward, as you've just said. And there's such a passion for that. I mean, I remember when I contacted you some months ago to say, a lot of independent artists wanted me to interview them. You went bam, 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 bam. And, within about 10, 15 minutes, I had an essay of people, that you had put forward. And there's this passion. I just felt this passion from you to really support, to really uplift, and to really, like you said, you're the train. You're the train. Right. Someone's just said, hello, my beautiful queens. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, whoever you are. Hello, hello, hello.
It sounds like that could be Whittington, because that's something that Whittington would write.
Hello, Whittington.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's Whittington.
Yeah. Reveal yourself.
Yes, please. Who is behind the mask of the Facebook user?
Absolutely.
Dun, dun.
Don't be ashamed. Oh, it's that Thaddeus. Thaddeus. Sorry, Thaddeus.
Oh, it's my brother. Thad.
Thaddeus Cradles.
What?
Hello, hello, hello. Well, hope that you're going to enjoy the show. I know it's going to be a fabulous show, and as we say, no matter what happens, the show must go on. The show must go on. So, but now a little bit more about you, Shauna. You're in the States at the moment, and you're already from the UK. Have I got that right?
No, I'm actually from the States.
Oh, are you? So why did I think you were from the UK?
Well, what had happened was, so
Okay.
everybody know I have this thing called hashtag WHHW.
I'll sit back with my I listen to this.
So what happened was I was doing my virtual show of a Jazzy Afternoon with Lovely that comes on every Sunday under the No BS Duo Show on Facebook Live. And I had met Mr. Sean Tunk of Rican Radio. And he was listening, and he had asked me to send him one of my, shows I did. So I sent him one of my shows. And he said, they love you over here in the UK. I was like, what? And I'm in the middle of my show. Like, I'm getting down. I'm playing all my jazz music, because I play jazzy music, which is, it's not just like 100% jazz, but it's a jazzy feel. It may be accompanied by another artist, an R&B artist, or just a straight instrumentalist. But by the end of the day, you're going to have this jazzy, funky feel about it. I like to call it the soul sounds of music. Nice. So it just so happened that, saxophones, brass is my thing. So I was playing it. And so he said, how would you like to come and play on my show? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I want you to play on my radio. I was like, in the middle of my show, I'm like, you've got to be playing. So I went to commercial and went to Messenger. I was like, what are you talking about, man? What you talking about? And he asked me to come over to the UK. And Thanksgiving, I premiered the week after my birthday. I premiered on Weekend Radio, and I've been playing the radio over there. So that's where everybody know me from.
Oh, okay. I got that so wrong, because in my mind, I thought you were over here and you moved to the States. So you're one of us then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a US girl.
You're a US girl, but you're sort of treading on UK toes, which is fabulous, and you've been embraced.
So what I call it is waterworks. I call it being able to cross the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean without a boat.
Wow. Wow, you're a woman of many words as well, innit? You got the use of the language, girl. I gotta do some learning from you. And how long have you been on Recon radio station?
So I've been with Rican since November, but I started my stream the minute quarantine happened, and I created my virtual platform. And I've been doing that for a year and 2 months. Excellent.
And ultimately, Shauna, where do you want to go? Because I know we spoke briefly some weeks ago, and I just also got a sense that it's not just radio. You want to be the best that you can be. You want to take things as far and as wide as you can. So what is that, taken far and wide? What is it? Greetings. Another message from Rise Up, Sister Esther, and your sister Shauna. We give thanks, Sister Angie. Hello, Sister Angie. Welcome again. Bless you. Right.
Well, I wouldn't say where I want to go, because if anybody was to ask you about Shauna, what would they say? And they would say it wasn't about her. So it's never been about me. It's always been about being of service.
Okay.
Serving my purpose, being here, using my gifts to be of service to help others do what they need to do, or, just serving. So if I needed where I want to go, I would want to be the best server that I needed to be, and make sure that I use every outlet that I had available, that I was talented to create, to make it happen. So that's what I would want to be. My grandma said, you need to treat life like a belt with many holes. Keep making holes, because the more holes you make, the longer your belt will be, because you never know where somebody might need one of those holes in your belt. And I found that to be true, because when quarantine happened, who knew we could create a virtual platform and then go from being 2 shows to being 9 shows, and now engineering to, stars, and getting information out, and meeting people and greeting people and being that transporter. Who knew? But that was one of the things I've learned over time, till it came like water. And when God is a part of something and it builds, then that's where you're supposed to be. But if it collapses, then that you're on shaky ground. That's not where you're supposed to be. So I guess where I want to go is wherever God is pulling me.
Excellent. And I guess my question, I didn't mean when I said where does Shauna, but it is about being on purpose and in purpose. Right. And then when you're obedient to that calling, whatever that calling is, you learn to step out of your way and just go wherever the tide is taking you. Exactly. And what I sense from you, you're moving forward, but you're bringing people up with you. And that's what it is, bringing people up with you. And just also understanding that your journey is also somebody else's journey. And there's that relatability. Put your teeth in, hold on. I have my senior moments sometimes.
Look, I ain't mad at you, my sister. I ain't mad, because you know what we say. We are each other's in each other's time zone. I just didn't do it yet.
Right. Let's get back to that word, relatability. For people to be able to relate to and your journey. And someone also, when I asked you about you, though, I know it's not about you, but then sometimes we also have to just take credit for how we have chosen to move with that journey. Is that making sense? So even in that question that I asked you about you, I know you said it's not about you, it's where God's placed you, but also I usually say to people, when you sort of acknowledge that, yes, this is me, and I am choosing to be obedient, then it puts it in a different way.
You walk different.
You walk different, and because you know that you are, I'm just going to put this up as well, because you know that you are a vehicle, you are a vessel. And that's where I think sometimes people don't really understand that we are vehicles and vessels. And so we are accountable. I very much know I'm accountable, but sometimes we're ducking and diving, but you can duck and dive from people, from humanity, from the physical beings. But when it comes to God, or sometimes people say the universe, we are accountable. So you just come to my earring, see what you've done? Standing on end, it's so excited. There we go.
Let them fly. Let them fly.
Maybe I'm some idiot.
No, they're fine.
And some of the people that you've supported, because you put me in touch with one of the people that you gave in that list of yours was Terence Thompson, an incredible artist. He is so out of the box. I just love that he's not restrained or constrained mentally, physically, spiritually. He goes with whatever he's been told, and he doesn't even see if there are borders, boundaries. Nope. He doesn't see them, because if it's for you, and if you're walking in faith, it doesn't matter what's been put around you, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
What do you say to that?
I call him the greatest. It's funny. I text him. We like on speed dial, me and him. And you know what? I may have to change my computer because it seems like I'm slowing down over here. And usually when I start slowing down, that means my system is dragging. You know, that slow virtual motion. But I remember saying to him, I said, you know, T, either you are a great checker player or you are a great chess player. Or whatever board game player you are doing the game and you're doing it well because he has all the pieces on the board. And I'm like, who does that but Mr. Terence Thompson? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
He has like maybe 7 to 8 songs already on the chart playing simultaneously. Who does that? Yeah. And it's like, you got, and I'm looking at his board and I'm like, it's a board, dude. It's a board. And so we laugh about that. But he is out of the box. And that's what I call him, the man out of the box, because he has the title of If I Had a Band. And I'm like, dude,
yes.
If you had a band, that's what it would sound like. Do you understand the word if? So let's just say you do get this band. That's going to be worse.
And the thing is, he's already, I mean, he did say when I interviewed him that he's going to be bringing out 2 tracks at the end of the month until the end of the year. So there is that, I would say, that flood or that volcano of creativity that's going whoosh. But also he's doing it strategically, because, you know, sometimes people could just throw things out, but he's doing it strategically. And I noticed with each of his tracks, the beauty is they're all different. I mean, he sent me a techno one a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, wow, this is good. And then he sent me a more sort of mellow one, and then there's a sassy one. So they're all different genres, but they're all equally on that level. And that is art and creativity, because that's what you do with art, isn't it? You can mold it and manipulate it. And
Yes. Now you see why I said either he's a great checker player or he's a great chess player, because he's been doing checkmate on every song. And you don't have too many people that has that gift.
Yes.
I would say talent, because not everybody can do that but this is a gift.
Yeah.
Some people are trained and taught this, but this, it's like he came out the womb spitting out beats. You know, it was like
him. Absolutely.
Yeah, like when he came out, you know, the doctor with the spanking, he was like, hold up, don't hit me yet. And then a horn came out and said,
yeah. And then even when he was breastfeeding, it's like, that's the trumpet.
Yes.
He's using everything around him.
Yes, he was using that heartbeat.
That's
using a heartbeat with a beat. His mom was like, my son always jumping when I'm gonna have to ask his mom, did you rock when you breastfed? Because, you know, it's like he was like, I'm gonna get my milk of the evening.
Absolutely. But he's breastfeeding as well, so he's used a bit of beatbox there. How do you think we do, guys? And that is really refreshing. And it's not to say that any other artist, you know, whatever you do, everybody's doing things within their lane.
Yes.
But, you know, I think for him, it's refreshing.
Yes.
And you know, we can all be examples to others to say, actually, we've come through this time. Let's step outside of our box and see what we create, giving others the encouragement and inspiration to step out of that box.
Well, if I may.
You may indeed.
What I believe that not only just Terence, but majority of the artists of the artist industry of what I like to call soul sounds, they were hidden for so long. They were told by marketing that it was a certain way you're supposed to present your music, a certain way how you're supposed to put out your music, a certain type of music that they said, that according to marketing, according to status quo, this is what they want. But they never asked us. And if they did, it wasn't a way that we were able to respond. And the soulful music was, we kept saying, where is our music? Because our music was teaching us love. Our music was teaching us to be different. Our music was teaching us to step out, tell our stories. But they decided how we were supposed to tell our story. But then 2020 came. And when 2020 came, 2020 said, whatever they told you wasn't totally true. Do you and be the best you when you do you. But right now, do you because the people need you. And while you've been doing what you was doing, that was a setup too, because that's what held us and our sanity through the whole time that they got to learn how to do this new thing called my life, my way, out the box, tell my story without any bars. And it's advantage of the moment.
And it's interesting you say that, because I know for the pandemic and all what's happened over the past year and a half, it's been a time of revelation, I said, and I do believe that we had to go through that. I mean, we've heard stories and we know that it was time for people to step back, to observe, to do a recce of yourself, look at the man in the mirror, look around you, say, actually, is this where I want to be in my life, in my relationships, in my job, in my career, within myself? I know it's incredibly hard for a lot of people because they lost their jobs, they lost family and friends. There's so much that happened.
Yep.
But I feel in the midst of it, there's been this revelation of, but also empowering of us recognizing actually, because I mean, I've always sort of been out the box. I've never really been in the box. And that's why even for my business, many years ago, when I used to go to marketing or PR people, they were like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it doesn't fit. And I always remember people who, she doesn't fit in this, she doesn't fit. So I do things my way. I started to do things my way. And so, but you've added something to it in terms of the narrative and the stories that, especially coming from the States, because even the cultures between the US and the UK are slightly different. And I can say this, and people may do whatever, but I feel with the States, what I'm seeing is that there's been this silencing of, but then people are coming forward to say, I'm taking back my power. I'm stepping I'm taking back. Whereas sometimes over here, it's sometimes, oh, pull me in. It's like, okay, we get that, but how can we take back our power? And I had the privilege of interviewing a griot for my magazine. That's an African storyteller.
Okay.
And she said, why don't we stop saying them, they? We're so focused on what they or them are doing. What about us saying now, what do I want? What do we want? Because words have power. She said even words are magic, words are power, different terminology. But when we start to speak into our lives, who we are, and sometimes we don't know that until someone comes along to show us, or something happens in our life and we go searching. But this is that time on every level. What do we want? Speaking that power. And that's what, when I was talking to Terence, he's of that as well. How can we speak that into lives? How can we reclaim? And that's powerful when you realize, actually, just sitting here, you can dip into that place right now. But that's through prayer, but that's through meditation, but that's reaching out to someone who speaks your language, or even from that place of pain and stagnancy that I no longer want to be here.
Right.
And then if you be silent enough, and if you pray or meditate, whatever is your path, the answers are there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. And but the ironic part of it is, it's always been there. Yes. Okay, so I have to paint something. So I use music and I use books. I use movies to make a point. Moana, Disney movie. They hid the boats in a cave behind a stone, behind a wall of leaves and branches, so nobody would know what it was. And he kept telling them, "Oh, it's nothing." Right? Then, when you look at the textbooks, in order for you to really find out your information, you have to go to higher learning, where you have to pay to get it. And then even there, depending on what part of higher level of education you've gone, you still may not get the total story. So it's like the music had everything. It had all the answers.
Yes.
And that's where they've always been. And like the African person you spoke, story person spoke of, I speak mine from a terminology of, using your past to lift up your present, to move forward in your future, not let it hold you back and say, what they did in the past, oh, they did this to me in the past. Yeah, but guess what they did in the past that you're not doing now? They was able to move forward and use what they had to make a movement. You got to move. How are you going to move now? How are you moving now? So we can no longer sit back and be mad at the story of Ruth. We can no longer sit back and be mad about the stories of the cotton. What they did in the cotton field was more than what you're doing without a cotton field. So what are you saying? What I'm saying is, look at what they did with what they had. Look at what you got, and now do something, and do something towards your future that's going to make a difference. Not only for you, but for others and yourself. But don't hold to that anger, that negativity. Use that to fuel you to say, if they was able to do it with that, I can only imagine what I can do if I just do this.
Absolutely. You speak in my language, and it's not that I want you to agree with me, but it's more so use what you got. It's just like, even in terms, I was married many years ago. I was married for about 14 years, and that was one of my biggest lessons. Now, if I was still going on about, and it's not in the same vein as what we went through in slavery, blah, 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 don't get me wrong, it's just an illustration. But if I was still going to hold on to that experience, I had to go and do some healing around that. I had to go and do some letting go so that I didn't attract that into my space anymore. And there is no way that I would want to go back into that situation. And, as you move forward and you let go, the thing is, if you carry the sack with you, the sack could be heavy, or it could be like, you could be Santa Claus, or you can choose to be this.
Yep.
Dragging it with you. And the thing is, I always say, if you look at the history books of time, if you look at the people that line the history books of time who have been through this, from the Rosa Parks to people who have made a significant name for them as part of that journey, I said, why don't we try and understand how they did it and why they did it? You mentioned Harriet Tubman. I mean, not everybody's born a leader, but what we're saying is just look at the strength, or look at some of the attributes that they had to adapt to, that they evolved into, that took them from A to B. And if you just be silent for one moment and say, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? And I want to leave a legacy for my kids. And the more that we focus on them, that, we can't see the blessings. We can't see that nugget of gold in our heart and souls, man. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'm having a great time with Shauna.
Yes.
Self-love is the revolution. And that is what the griot that I interviewed yesterday, she said, self-love is the revolution.
It is.
And it really is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I sort of had a feeling that maybe Eddie Saunders wouldn't be on. I just, sometimes you just have a feeling, but, I'm having a great conversation with, excuse me, Shauna, and I hope that you're able to take away something from what we're saying.
Yeah.
I'm learning from her, and hopefully she's learning from me, and we're just opening up a dialogue with yourselves, something that's hopefully going to empower you to step outside your comfort zone, or even just step into the zone. You don't even have to step outside the comfort zone at this moment in time, because you may not be there, but just to step into your zone and say, what is it that I want? What is it I want to achieve? What is the legacy that I want to leave? So on that note, we're going to go over to a short break and see you on the other side.
Okay.
Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine, the summer issue, available July 2021 in collaboration with Street Flair London. The theme of this issue, #Black Royalty. So what does this mean to you? In this issue, we will be exploring a new, refreshing narrative and perspective. This is not a revolution. This is a celebration of self. Time to step into our personal power to enable the collective power. The responsibility lies with us. Great articles, empowered conversations, exclusives, art, culture, health and well-being, and much more. Join the conversation at #Black Royalty. And for further information, visit turningpointmag.com.
Mileys Rum Bar and Caribbean Street Food, the taste of Jamaica on the shores of Blackpool, featuring over 100 different rums from around the world, plus Mama Lorna's Caribbean Street Food for your soul. Search for Mileys Rum Bar, Blackpool on the socials, or call Mileys Rum Bar on 01253 584 563 or Lush Caterers on 07581 217 471. That's Mileys Rum Bar and Caribbean Street Food, Blackpool. Try us out. Your taste buds will never be the same.
Just let me tell you why. Love don't come easy. No, no. Listen, people, takes a long, long time. Ought to build a love like mine. Don't come easy now. The law should impose a fine.
Okay, ladies and gents, that was Love Don't Come Easy by Eddie Saunders from the New Jersey Connection. I do know that when I spoke to him last week, he had a family situation, so I would assume that that's probably why he's not shown up today. But that's so cool. As we say, the show must go on. The show must go on and will go on. And I'm having a great conversation with the lovely Shauna Hall-Williams. I really love the dialogue. Hope it's empowering. Hope it's inspiring. Hope it's influencing you in some way to just, it's time to put on your cape. I'm a superhero. Did you know that?
I think we all are. We all have that superhero power. We just don't know how to tap into it.
Absolutely. And I'm getting my cape made. No, I'm really a no, you
you're saying da-da-da-da.
That's right. And I'm getting, because I've been on my son's cases. I'm like, I'm a superhero. Yeah, mum. But then I think they recognized when I said it last week. They sort of looked up and they're like, "You're not serious." I said,
I like to call every now and then, if I may again, at some point in time, I believe it was told that we were supposed to leave those things behind. Because when I grew older, I put away my childish things.
Yes.
And I spoke as a man or I spoke as a woman. That's scripture.
Yeah.
But I don't believe totally that it meant that we were not supposed to still have childlike things that we enjoy that keeps the youth in. Every now and then you got to let the child out. Because some of us are just children in adult bodies that still never grew up yet. We're just playing adults and we're fumbling because we don't know what to do, because we refuse to grow up because we don't want to put away those childish things. But then you have the ones who know there's a time and a place. Yeah. And that's where you don't give up those childish things, because it's those things that keep you motivated. It keeps you going, inspired, and it encourages someone else, because like you said, I'm a superhero. So if I'm watching you and I'm seeing what you're doing and you're saying you're a superhero, and they're telling me superheroes don't exist, I'm like, but I know Esther and she's a superhero and she's real. So we can tap into that moment of when we were younger and still use our superpowers. And I don't care what nobody say, mommy got superpowers.
Absolutely. And for me, I think it's also, we can incorporate it into, it's just who we are as a whole.
Yep.
I've got a granddaughter. She's going to be 7 soon. Can you believe it? And and the thing is, I'm also around a lot of the little people, and I would say the little people, a lot of them have come down here, and they are beyond their time and their years. There's a wisdom and an understanding that they've come down here with, and so whenever I go to friends' houses or wherever I am, the kids are attracted to me. And yes, even on the railway station or whatever, we are superheroes, because to me, that's also saying, taking away the novelty of it. That's also saying, dare to dream.
Yeah.
Dare to step into a different aspect of yourself. Right. I dare you out of, because as adults you get older and we only do certain things. That's why I'm surrounded by a lot of young people, because I can't do the stagnation energy. No disrespect to anybody. I just can't. It rips my soul apart. I'm like, oh, jeez.
And I think it's because the young people have taught, and we can learn from the young people.
Absolutely.
And the young people have taught us to say, says who. For a long time, we have always been like, we could not ask why.
Uh-huh.
And the millennials, as I like to call them, they're the ones that says, why? Well, I need to understand, because if I have an understanding, then I can respect why I'm not doing something, or I have a better understanding of why I shouldn't want something. And it's not being disrespectful, because in that time, you didn't ask why. There was a reason behind it that was a little bit more than what we're saying today.
Yeah.
Today we can explain why. Back then you couldn't explain why. You just had to do it and do it fast. But it was a reason. But that reason no longer exists today. I need to know why. It was taught to my son how to put a shirt on, button a shirt up. And it was like, button it up from the bottom up. And but I was taught to go down. Why do we go from the bottom up? Because I told you so. Well, can you explain the difference?
Yeah.
And when you have a better understanding of the difference of why you're doing something, it makes sense. And then you don't have that rebellious spirit that comes up and say,
I'm going to do it from the middle
because you told me not to.
And I would do it from the middle. That's me. But I've always been like that. I remember growing up, it wasn't rebellious. It's just that I was in my own world. I never really understood the world around me. Even at school, I was always the odd one out, because, I experienced the world so differently. I was so in tune. I'm very much an empath. I can feel, sense, and, all those things around me. So I didn't understand the world as most people did. And so I remember I would do things and people never, why are you doing that? And I was like, well, why not? Why not? This is me. And even, at school, I was always the odd one out. It's only until I won a couple of races, because I was really good at athletics, and broke the school records twice, and everybody wanted to be my friend. I'm like, why? You didn't want to know me before. You thought I was this quiet little bookworm. Why? And so having this thing of being able to roam on your own, and also the type of father I had, my parents, there is no way I could get myself involved in anything, because I'd be walking to school. I wouldn't even be walking to school. I'd have to be dragging my butt on the ground to get to school after I got home and I got the whipping I got. So, I didn't understand a lot of that world. So I've grown up, even as an adult, even like for myself now, as a grandmother, I could be walking out the road and I'll be doing hopscotch. My sons know me already. Like, why, Mum? I said, stop. That's just me.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's me. I'm the one that's in the daycare. And my kids are older. But I'm the one who's in the daycare on the floor with the kids, rolling around, playing around, crawling and chasing them. You know, I let the kid out. I'm the one who tries to get on the sliding board. It's a big, gigantic playground. And it's called Smith Playground. And it's inside a house. Well, it's like an inside build playground. I mean, sliding board. And you get on the little sacks and you slide all the way down. Well, honey, I remember as a child, I used to run and I would be on that sliding board all day. I could slide all day. We would have slide races. I would win. I would be flying on the side, face down for any way to slide. I was doing it. And I forgot that I was not my young age. And I went down that slide and hunty. But I still did it because the kids were doing it. And I said, that's all right. I'll pay for it later. Don't worry about it. Come on, y'all. Just help me up. Come on, help me up. Come on.
Capsule.
And I'm the one limping, needing the meds for the painkillers.
Capsules.
Yes. And I, like you, was the same way. Then my superhero was, I was the underdog.
Yeah.
You know, it was like anybody that did not have a friend. I was your friend. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'll be your friend. If you didn't have something to eat, don't worry about it. I got something to eat. You got something to eat. Yeah. Oh, you like my shirt? I'm going to go give me a shirt just like this. And I'm going to give it to you. I've always been that way. My mom always said, she's the underdog. You know, you couldn't hit that note. I was going to help you hit that note. You know, you couldn't reach that point. I'm going to lift you up on my shoulders and push you up so that you can get it. But that's that power. And if you break down superhero, not for what the world say a superhero is why I say we're all in some way a superhero. Because when you look at the definition of what super is, and you look at the definition of a hero, you will find somewhere in that definition, you are there. Yeah. Not to drag it on, but I have to make I want to make 2 points because you said something. My cousin has a foundation called The Legacy Exists. It's the Smoking Joe Legacy Exists Foundation. And their catchphrase is, there is a fighter in you. And if you don't believe, and that's where that self-love coming in, how can you love somebody else or believe or have somebody believe in you when you don't believe in yourself? And that's where that superhero coming at, because you are super. And in some natural way, you are a hero in some sense. It could be just the hero of, you did my hair. Yeah. You're a hero because you got me to the bus stop and the bus left. You was a hero because I didn't have nobody watching my kid. And you said, don't worry, I got you. That was a super deed that you did. You know, you was that mother in a motherless life. You was a father in a fatherless life. You was that friend in a blended family. That took a super extra step. Yes. So yes. Yeah. So, but if you don't believe in that and you don't start with you, then of course you're going to be like what you said earlier. You'll be looking down and you're not going to fit in. And that's why we're like, says who? I can do whatever I want to do. I can win as many races and break them as many. Who said I can't? You said I can't. But if you look at me, and if you look at any of my posts, my post that is the eyes for me. It's the eyes for me, because it's not what you see. It's what I see behind these eyes that say who I am and what I should be. And if everybody loved themselves enough to do that, find out who you are. Find out what your superpower is. Your superpower may be you were able to help yourself get out of that super situation. You never know.
Well, then it takes the conversations like this, Shauna, for people to be aware, because in their circle, they might not have this type of conversation. And so therefore there isn't that awareness. And then when they hear it, because, you know, sometimes when you're in a place and you're just looking for a way out, and then you might be watching the television, or you might be listening to the radio, or you might be reading something, and then the message is there, it pops up, or you're walking the street and randomly someone says something to you, and it brings you out of your stuff, out of your stupor. And I'm like, that's the message hits.
Yep. You're right.
It hits. Because I remember when I was married many years ago, and I said that was an emotionally blah 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 marriage, and I remember just thinking, I just need to get out. I need to get out. I was on my hands, my knees, pray, whatever I needed to do. And then I opened a magazine or something, and something was there. I'm like, and I could relate to what it was saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a message for me. This is a message for me. And just seeing that and being able to relate to it, it's almost like I can do something about. I can, because somebody else has been through this. So with the superhero, that's who this is.
That part. You're exactly right. What you just said. That part.
Yeah. So sometimes it's for somebody to. We don't always have that awareness in our space of the superhero, or even being able to acknowledge that superhero. But when somebody like you listens to what you've said or what I've said, or see somebody journey, then they can relate. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right.
Yeah.
So we've got ThreeBomb that's going to join us in a minute. But you were going to say, Shauna?
But you know what? That was one of the reasons why I created my platform and called it The Know. Because if you don't know, how are you supposed to move forward? But like you said, like I my marriage didn't work either. But it wasn't until I got out of my marriage and other relationships that I understood why it didn't. But not only knowing that, I realized my hashtag WHHW, what had happened was it had to happen.
Absolutely.
And it had to happen so that we can have the conversation, because if it hadn't happened and you said, well, you know, I went through this, I'll be sitting like this. And you'd be like, well, can you help me?
I'll be like this.
I ain't experienced it. I don't know. So it had to happen. I had to have that breakup. I had to have that disturbance in my life. I had to be at that point where I was praying for an exit.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, if you give me an exit this time, I promise I'll take it. You know, and getting out of that exit to turn around and look back and say, you was the reason why you were still in it the whole time. For me to go be to somebody else and say, listen, you can't always blame the one person. You have to say, what part did you play?
And
you have
that's
to have a conversation.
And that's what I went to. Remember I said I went on this journey. I had to go on this journey of self-healing, introspection, because I did not want to go back into or attract something like that into my space again. I said that was my biggest lesson. And that's also why, you know, now I can just do this. I can empathize with lots of different places, because I've been different places in my life. But one thing is that I chose not to hold on to it. It's like, how can I heal it, transform it, transmute it, put it down, heal it, transform it, keep putting it down, keep putting it down. What was this about? Standing in my power. What was this about? What was it about? So that I can let it go, because so that it's not doing this to me, but it's doing this to me.
Yes.
I am that I am that I am.
You better say it, Esther. Say it.
Okay. Hold on.
Stand up on the sofa and say it.
if I stand up, all of this is gonna fall. But you know, I am that I am that I am, and that's basically what I try to encourage people as well. Is that, you know, we've all gone through some sort of painful experience, but then is what can we do with it? And just to say, there are places we can put it down. It may not be easy, but it certainly is possible. Right. Without further ado, now I am going to go over to another break, and then I'm going to have ThreeBomb join us in the studio.
Yes.
So, to another ad break, and then we're back quite soon. Let's go to the ad break. What should I play? Let's do this one.
Greetings, Esther. This is Diane Mathis. Thank you for welcoming me back to your sofa, where inspirational, informational, educational, and motivational conversations are had with artists across the globe. Your support in playing our music and telling our stories is phenomenal and appreciated. So when I'm in London, I enjoy listening to On the Sofa with Esther Austin.
Said I'll be here forever. I meant that.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
We made a pact, said I'll be here forever. Wasn't a time when you didn't see us together. We sharing posts on the gram, it's messing their heads up. For him, I got some loose screws, and that's just a heads up. He never get upset with me, never been fed up. He know my past and still he stay through any weather. No matter what I'm up against, he make it better. He get that money, the net, all that peso cheddar. I see he heavy on always applying pressure. And every day we be on so many adventures. And I just like how that boy come up when it come to me. And I just like how he go crazy, he go dumb for me. He understood, nothing about me perfect. But not a day go by that I feel like I'm worthless. He really sat me down and asked what is my purpose. He said right now won't last too long, it will be worth it. I see the nights that you be up and you be working. And every day can't be sunshine, gotta know what hurt is. My eyes get big, I'm thinking like I never heard this. I hope he real, I'm a cancer, feelings get hurt with. I'm catching feelings, no I don't need it. It's just a cycle, you fall and fall out, repeat it. Could hear the passion in his words, you know he mean it. He got some truth inside his heart and you can see it. At first I backed out, then I went all in. Cause what's the point of life if you don't take risks? If we ever fall out, we go back to the basics. If it's him, it's me, it's something you don't wanna play with. I picked the play, I got the role, but I could never pretend. Cause I'ma have your heart for now, forever the end. He a double blessing, a blessing.
Okay, I see you doing the moves there. You're doing the moves.
Oh, y'all.
Yes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for joining me. ThreeBomb.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
No, it's a real pleasure. Right, my dear. I'd just like to introduce you to, I said my co-host, but we've been having the most amazing conversation. This is Shauna Hall-Williams. She is from the States, and I'm over here in the UK, and you're in the States. So yeah, there's a nice little triangle going on here.
Yeah, love it.
And you got something, is it called Mira?
Mira, yeah. My name is Amir. My real name is Amira, so Mira is my nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I love the track. I love it. There's an energy around it. It's fresh. It's saying a lot. So but before we go any further, I'd like to ask you, who is ThreeBomb in a nutshell? I know, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell.
In short, ThreeBomb is this very vibrant person. ThreeBomb is me. Amira is who I am, but ThreeBomb is more so my alter ego. It's who I am when I go on stage. ThreeBomb is who I am when I'm in the studio recording these tracks. ThreeBomb is Amira, but she's a little more outgoing. Amira's a little bit more shy. ThreeBomb is just an artist, and that's pretty much who I am. ThreeBomb came about 2016, and seriously, and she's very happy about that.
Excellent. I just love, like I said, I just love your energy. Your energy is bam, 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 bam. It's almost like I'm ready to on the world. I'm ready to give my message, and I believe part of that is a lot of that stems from your advocacy work. You know, your rights for justice and all those things, and then you just put them all together like, this is who I am, and I'm coming at you.
Yes.
Excellent. Shauna?
I like that name, ThreeBomb, because, and like you said, it's all of you, like me, myself, and I coming together in one.
Yes.
You know, like we was talking about earlier, what's your superpower? And that's yours. And you know, and the song is like, it makes you want to move. It does make you want to move. What made you, where did you get your inspiration for the song?
Oh, the inspiration for that song, I was going through like, with this person and stuff. I'm sitting here like, everyone goes through a phase where they'll meet someone where it's kind of, you guys are really, really close, and no matter what, you guys are still always going to be there for one another. So that really was like the premise for the song. And so it started as a freestyle. I was in the car with the person when I actually made the song, and I'm just sitting here like singing, you a double blessing, because you're not just my lover, you my best friend. And then I sat down at home, I listened back to it, and I just started writing with it, and it just became this beautiful story. And yeah, that's pretty much where it came from.
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, I would assume you're not together with this person, but you still got that connection. Is that right?
That's the song forever. Yeah.
But that's really deep, and that's really strong. I mean, to have that level of awareness that, yeah, we're going to hold this together forever. And even if it doesn't last for forever and ever and ever, you still had a sense of what the relationship meant and what you were stepping out of. And so there's a real honor around that, isn't there?
Yeah, there definitely is. And like, I wanted to get out the message to people that were, in my age group and stuff, because it's all this going on. Oh, he's mine. And it's like, it's okay to just have a forever friend. That's okay too, to have someone that you'll just rock out with. Y'all can be friends and be cool, even if there's no relationship there. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the message I was trying to get across.
And that's a huge lesson. And I'm so glad you said that, because so many people are still stuck on what you said, that label, that's mine. He's mine, prioritizing a person. But now, the head rock. What, girl? You can't be all up on my man like that.
But you stole my man. You don't see that.
But when you know where you are in their heart,
right?
Yeah.
When they know who you are in their heart, there should be no insecurity of who you are, and no label is needed. It's just the fact that you know who you are.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a general level of understanding. I get you, you get me. But like you all said, right now people are so hung up over the fact they have to be my person. I have to be. We're not property. We're human.
Yes.
It's okay to just have a forever bond with someone, because the bond is not necessarily a label. It's just something that's there. It's really energy. It's vibrations, and that's something you can feel with the other person. So, yeah.
But you talk about energy and vibration now. Like I was saying, a lot of, I would say, the younger generation, the millennials, they're coming into this world understanding that, because it's been them, it's their experience. I mean, as an elder, don't go there, don't answer. No, keep quiet. You as well, Shauna. No, you both keep quiet. Right. As someone who's slightly older than yourself, right?
I'm fine, wine, baby. Wine is better older. I'm wine. You can say whatever you want to say. My name is Wine. Wine is good. The older it is.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go over to a break if you don't. Yes. But the thing is, I understand your world, because that was my world growing up, and having that awareness that you have now. A lot of people are still searching for that. Different strokes for different blokes. But in order for people to understand that and have that awareness and that consciousness, they have to be in a certain place to understand that. Otherwise, it's still going to be, you stole my man. I mean, I can never understand that. You stole my man. Well, you can't steal somebody, because if they ain't going, I can understand that people can entice, because I've seen it. And I've seen them at work, even when I've been with gentlemen ages ago. I'm seeing people working it in front of me. I'm like, really? You got to be that insecure that you're trying to work it in front of us.
Right here.
That's right. But that's, like you said, that's their insecurity, and it's just really refreshing to hear this from you. And what's really nice, as I was saying to Shauna earlier, that I am now surrounded by lots of young people, even those who are working with me in my business, because it's refreshing. There's a thing of honesty, truth, integrity, and let's just do what we got to do. Right. What do you say about that, ThreeBomb?
In my response to that would definitely be that I agree with what you're saying. I think that is really important, and I'm happy that there's people that's younger around you, because you all can learn from one another.
Absolutely.
And, I like to spend a lot of time with like my mom, and she's older than me, of course, but it's like I learned so much from her, and so just having like another group of people that you're learning from one another, it means a lot.
Yeah, because there's a saying, out of the mouth of babes, isn't there? Yeah. And so there's always that cross-generational learning, and you can there's wisdom at different points in life. And it doesn't mean that my wisdom is any less than yours if you are open
Right.
to receiving.
Yes.
Open, you know, because
Right.
there's some adults that are like, no, this is us, and this, no, you haven't stopped. We never stop evolving and growing.
Right. Yeah.
So how is your track Forever being received? You know, what's happening with that?
Are you able to see and hear me? Because I can't see you anymore.
You can't see it, me.
Okay, I can see you now. Sorry, my phone was doing. Okay, what was the question?
So, you know, with your track Forever, because it seems to have embodied everything that we've all spoken about. So how is it being received, and where are you taking it? Have you done any major performances around it?
Yeah, so my first major performance with it was at Newark Waterfront Center. That was like my first actual performance since I became ThreeBomb, since I actually embodied this person. It was very exciting. I was so excited that I wasn't even nervous. Like, I just got on stage rocking out. Like, and that was the first time I ever actually seen, like, okay, we are two different entities. We are two different people, because the energy was going crazy. Everyone was just there. I was going into the crowd, just, you know, talking to the audience and everything like that. So that was my first performance with it. And on Juneteenth, I released the song on all platforms. Like, it's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, SoundCloud, it's everywhere. And everyone was just like, I can relate to this. No matter which age group it was, there was no curse words or anything. I wanted to make it, you know, kid friendly. So even for the younger teenagers who are listening to the song, you know, it's okay for them too. And so it's being received how I wanted it to be. It's not being misconstrued in any way. It's no confusion as to where I was trying to go with it. It seems like everyone really understands the story that I put behind it. And I recently, literally yesterday, I did my first video shoot with the song. And I think, yes, it's going to be dropping very soon. So definitely be on the lookout. I'm so excited for it. I think it's going to be very, very nice. And it comes across like perfect. Everything. The vision was there. Everything was perfect. So excellent.
I'm still trying to figure out where is this person that she was keep talking about that's saying she's shy, because she don't come off. She's not coming off shy at all. Like, she's representing herself very well.
Thank you.
You know, she's coming off the energy, like you said, she's here. I don't see where I would be like, that's not the same person on stage. Yeah. Like, I see the person that you see on stage. If that's
that's ThreeBomb. You know, we ThreeBomb.
Yeah, I love that. But I think it's also because you're talking about something that you're passionate about. You're talking about your creativity. You're talking about something that you've birthed that's now growing. And I guess, you know, you've just done the video. So it's all this excitement around it. And so ThreeBomb, I think ThreeBomb's going to be taken over soon, because she's almost like, yeah, I'm on hype here.
It's still pumping right now. Like, it's just so much behind it, so much positivity. And I'm really excited about all these projects that I've been doing. And so to be able to share it with you all, and for you guys to listen to it, it's just great to have. So I am excited. That's from Amira and ThreeBomb. We're excited.
Can I ask you something about Amira?
Sure.
When did Amira knew that ThreeBomb existed?
Wow.
Because you're saying I'm the shy person. I don't do this. I don't go here. Now it's like,
yeah. I would say that Amira knew that ThreeBomb existed when ThreeBomb did like her first when Amira did her first performance. I was in high school, and that was my first. I always did like talent shows in high school, but this was like the first time that I was doing a solo one. And I was a senior. It was my senior year. I said, I'm gonna leave this school with a bang, and I'm gonna do it. But mind you, just that was the time I created ThreeBomb. I got on that stage and I just ripped it. And that's when I wasn't shy. And that's when I knew, like, okay, there's a difference like between these like people, even though we're in the same body. So that's when I realized ThreeBomb does exist and we're different. Like,
wow. Yeah, it's like what we talked about earlier. When we were speaking about the difference of when you know who you are from the inside, it can come out and bubble over. But it's once you realize it, is when it happens. And it's like you said, you took that step, like you put fear to the side and said, okay, let me try something.
Right.
It was good.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I think it really does take for putting, fear and being nervous and anxiety to the side sometimes, because the things that we show, they've always been in us. It just takes for something to get it out. And so once I put that to the side, I was able to see, well, you were in here this whole time, and I wish I would have exposed it a little earlier. I wouldn't have missed a couple of opportunities. But now that it's here, all I can do is progress from here, knowing who I am.
Absolutely. Build on it. So, a little bit about where you're coming from, because, you've got a love of writing, poetry, everything that's to do with writing, expression. So as you put that together with music, where are you going to take this now? Because, you've got this single out, and like we said, you are on fire. And I guess ThreeBomb, the us and the bomb, you just, I just see it as this rocket where your energy is still in my head. I'm trying to keep myself straight. And I love it. I love it, because that's also, that energy is going to be infectious. And there's Anthony B. Williams. He's the owner of the station. He's listening to yourself. He's loving what you were saying, young lady. Loving it. So where are you going to now take this energy? Where do you want to take it? Because even though you might have missed some opportunities already, you're still young, man. You've got the whole life ahead of you. So where are you taking this? It's not even a train. It's a rocket.
It's a rocket ship, and it's going beyond this world. So from here, I just plan on in the studio recording more music and just making more relatable songs that I know that people can relate to, because that's my goal. Sometimes some of the music is just things I just want to hear, and I know that other people would like to hear it. So I plan to go back in the studio, keep on recording more. Forever is just one single, and I plan to come out with a bunch of more music. So I'm really excited to do.
That's great. That's great. That's right. Step out on it. Don't hold back. Go for it. Go as far as you can go, and then go further.
Right. Thank you. Now, I need to hear that. Sometimes it's just you think about what you want to do, and it's just it's just hard, especially when you have a lot going on. I'm in school and just trying to do other things. So I'm just trying to figure out time, but I'm making time like crazy. There's 4 hours in the day, and I'm making it work.
That's it. That's it. Yep.
That's it. That is key. You're making it work. There are 24 hours in the day, but when you've got passion, and sometimes even when you're tired, it's the passion that's going to drive you through. When you're up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you are just leaning, and everything's looking, I call having blowfish face. Do you remember Flounder? And but you're going to push through because you've got the vision, you've got the tenacity, you've got the passion, and you've got, like you said, you just want to take it as far. And even this conversation is inspiring, because I'm doing a lot, but it's almost like, okay, what can I step up? I got to still pace because I'm a little older, but and this lady, Rita Paul, says timing is everything.
Wow.
Absolutely. Timing is everything. And so,
thank you.
You've started. I feel you've got your ducks lined up in a row. You know what you're about at this moment. You very strongly know who you are, and that is a bonus, young lady.
Thank you.
And
sorry, Shauna.
It's funny that the young lady on the line said that, and you're coming back with that response, because it was that young lady that pushed me.
Wow.
Because that young lady happens to be, and talking about Out of the Mouths of Babes, that's my younger sister, Sarita.
Really?
Hello, little sister.
That's my sister. And I often recall that it was one of my hardest steps that I had to make out of my life. And some people but it was only hair.
Right.
And with India Irie, I believe she wrote the song, I'm Not My Hair.
I'm Not My Hair. I love India Irie. Love her so
and
much.
At that time, because I'm a type of person, I always relate something to a song. Even when I gotta go to the bathroom, it's a song. Music is just in me. It's just in me. It's like if you cut me, my music, my blood probably would drip musical notes for a tune.
Right.
And because I had a situation, a life experience that happened, and the medication took my hair out. Mm-hmm. And I had to make that necessary step to say, okay, I'm not my hair. I have to cut my hair, even though I was my hair. Like my hair was long. I was known by my hair and my nails and my shoes and my dress. That was me. Okay.
Yes.
But when my hair was taken away, I was like, I'm not me anymore. What am I going to do?
Right.
And, I knew I had to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
The medicine was pulling it out, but I had some that was left.
Yeah.
And the doctor was dumb. So I went to the hairdresser. I was like, okay, I gotta do something. And she's like, well, cut it. Everybody wearing that style. I said, yeah, but everybody that wearing that style is not me. And I'm not like them. And I don't want to be labeled like them. Like I had a whole reason of why not.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have the reason of why I should.
Right.
And the statement that I actually learned from that and learned from my sister was, either way, with my hair, I'm going to make it mine.
Right. You have to embrace.
So, like, do what you do. What you did with no hair and hair. What did you do? You made it you. And I was like, I can't make this me. Ain't nothing on the side. Ain't can't see. I can't. She was like, you better sign it.
And you are making it work.
And she said, take the scarf off. Because I had the scarf.
Right.
So you couldn't tell. And I had all this hair. Like if I drop it, you'll see it's long.
Yeah.
It's still up. And she said, own it. But it will still be you.
Right.
And I was like, I can't do it. She was like, own it. And in time, like she told you, time will make the difference. And if she had not said that to me, I don't think I could still be doing this now. I'll probably be getting some glue, get some track.
Two track.
Flow, baby, flow. Keep flowing, baby, flow.
Right.
Well, Auntie, trust me, when it's hot like this, I'll be like, oh, just give me a wet cloth. I feel good. I feel good, honey. What Stephanie Mills say? I feel good all over. Right. You know? So, yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's very, very vital. And it's something to hear, like that story is very inspirational. And I know that anyone that hears it will be touched by it because it says a lot. Like a lot of people, you know, especially us Black women, our hairs are everything.
Yes.
So come on, that's what we do. So to know that, you know, you went through that phase in life where you were just like, I have to do what's you know, yeah. I think that's dope, and that really was touching. So thank you.
Thank you. She just called me dope, y'all. She called wine dope. She called wine dope.
Y'all got me cracking up.
But that feels good. Like we said earlier, that's why we love you guys. You guys keep us young. That's why we don't.
That's the old people's thing, isn't it? You're so glad that she called you dope because it's almost like, yeah, I'm in with
I'm in the crowd. She called me dope.
Yeah, that's
down with us.
Yes, I'm gonna go upstairs and be like, yo, she called me dope. My son's gonna be like, no.
That's so funny.
Oh, brilliant. You'll have to forgive her. It's been a while since, you know, with this whole young people, old school meets new school thing. So, you know, but yes, you're dope. You're dope.
I love both of the schools. I love us. I love y'all. You know, we here.
Oh, brilliant. And it's interesting when you talk about your hair as well, because oftentimes, like you said, it defines you so that when you change it, you sometimes go through this traumatic period. Yes. Whereas, you know, I think for me, it was always, you know, if I want to cut it, I cut it. But I think the trauma was on the other part where people are like, why? I'm like, because I wanted to. They couldn't understand because I had locks down to my back at one point.
Really?
I cut it right off.
Yeah.
Why? And I'm like, I'm just ready for the new me, whoever I am now. And there's that constant evolution. There's that. I mean, even now, this is different, but then it's grown. It's just got wet today, so it's all compiled. I'm like, okay, I'm bored already. What do I want to do with it? And so that's also part of creativity, with your soul constantly being in that creative process. But also, this is another aspect of me. Actually, this is another aspect of me. And getting comfortable with that. Right. So, you know, and so this conversation is really inspiring me on so many levels. I might just get on a plane tomorrow, COVID or no COVID. I'm getting on that damn plane, or else I'm coming on the Albatross.
I have to advocate for Nike. Just do it is like what I say. Like, just do it. Like,
good. Look, be like a Nike sneaker. Just do it. Tie your sneakers up and just do it.
Well, you can see I'm the one on the Albatross, yeah, because I ain't getting on no plane. I'm coming on Albatross.
You know what? We have real time now. So we have ways we can come. Look, you need us. All you gotta do is FaceTime us. It's gonna be like we just sitting right there with you. Like, go ahead, Esther.
Sitting right
What
next
you gotta
to
do. You can
I want the real thing. I want the real thing. Sorry, I want the real thing.
Right.
I want the real thing.
Look, we did that part of Jetsons where we can see each other. We just can't come to the screen yet.
Not yet.
I kind of think I'm glad we don't yet, but because Jay, the things that be trying to come through the DM on the screen, I'm like, what's going on?
This is such a blessing, ThreeBomb, having you on, because like I said, you've just got this energy that's gone bam, and you've exploded in the studio today, and that's a real blessing. And and even what's really nice is that your track and what you're about is you just want to inspire others. You just want others to think. And for me, it's about you're showing them how to stand in their power. How can you stand in your power, man? And then you take off like, no, actually, I'm Catwoman. No, I'm working on my cape at the moment. No, you don't laugh. I really am.
Really?
No, I am. I'm working on my cape. And someone talked about, you can get have an all-in-one. I said, not at my age. No all-in-one.
You better go ahead and put your all-in-one. Stop it.
No. Sorry, with the belly bits and the side handle bits. No.
Honey, look, I wear all-in-one in a minute. What?
No, sorry. I work out, and I'm like, no, man, I can't see my toes.
Right.
That may be that transition you was talking about. You can say, I am not my belly, and do something.
Exactly.
And do something about it. I'm glad you said that. And I hope nobody gets mad at me for this. Nobody get mad at me for this, really. I mean, because I'm trying, the point I'm going to make here, if I may, Esther.
You may indeed.
It was a young lady on this show. It was the national, I want to say it right, but so there's a new museum that says where Black music lives, and it's in Tennessee. And they had a whole special where they had they were honoring Smokey, Quincy Jones, Shaka, and who's the third, and the gospel group, the oldest first Black gospel group. And the young lady who was on the red carpet, she's a podcast young lady, and she is a very hefty chunk,
So yeah.
But she had on a one piece.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
And it tied across her chest.
Yes, I saw her.
Her belly.
I didn't see that.
And her pants. And I was looking like, she's wearing that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, at first I was like, that took guts.
Yeah.
Because somebody would have seen her, and I'm not throwing shade when I say this. I'm really applauding her.
Right.
Because somebody like me, I would not have been able to do that, because the first thing I would have said was my stomach hanging out, my baby marks still here. Even though my babies ain't babies no more, I still got a little bit of stretch marks. I still got, the little cut from the procedure. I ain't showing all that.
Right.
You better get me a dress and something those suck it up and push it in. I mean, but
girdle.
Yes, but no, honey, we probably would need a girdle and some Spanx for me to wear something like that. And we would have need some girl magic on the screen to filter all of that in to make me look like that.
Super glue.
Okay. And the Reynolds wrap. But she was like, this is me. I'm wearing it, and I'm beautiful, and I'm big in it. Yes, I am, but it don't look no better than it looks better on me than it would on you. And she wore it.
Yes, she did.
And she had the big hair. I was like,
right.
Okay, sis. I get it. And when that was a whole new era, because somebody would have said, you should not be wearing that at your size.
Yeah.
Or you showing your stuff, girl. Don't show your tires. So I felt, she gave me she empowered me. I was like, So I say to you, Esther, go get that one piece.
Go get that
cape.
I will do. I guess for me, and I saw her and she looked gorgeous because she's got a gorgeous energy. And I think it was orange. Was it orange? I think that the suit was orange.
Yeah, it was orange.
But I guess also for me, I've always been one that's worked out, and I like to maintain and look after my body in that sense. So for me, I would wear it, but I'm a bit of a health. Because it's an energy thing for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's an energy thing for me. But I'm still getting my cape regardless, and I'll do the colors that I want. You laugh. You keep laughing. You want.
I'm gonna be right there when you get it.
Me and my albatross come to visit both of you.
That's right. I want to see the cape because you might inspire me to get mine.
No, the cape is for you as a superwoman. And to that lady who was on the show and just wait, was she on the show?
No, she was the host for the red carpet.
Oh,
She's
okay.
Fantastic. She do because she had this big hair, and then I think it was orange, and but she had that energy and that look. It dropped. It really dropped.
Yeah.
That takes courage, and she was probably at a point of like being self-actualized. That's when no one or anyone can do anything to you at all. It doesn't even matter at that point. I'm going to do what I want. That's what Ross said. So I applaud her. I didn't even see it, but I applaud her too.
Absolutely. You know, this is absolutely fabulous. We've got I would say maybe another 5. We can keep talking until the next artist comes on. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to an ad break. I'm running out of ads.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to an ad break. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the show with me is the lovely Shauna Hall-Williams, and also ThreeBomb. Loving the energy in the studio.
Woo-hoo! couple of those. You know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, see you on the other side.
Catch On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, where she'll be interviewing the finest artists from the past and present, garnished with quality music. So that's On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, right here on LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul, R&B and Chat lives.
Angie, that song is my theme song. Woo!
She's coming on soon. Beth Griffith-Manley should be coming on soon. Where's ThreeBomb gone? She gone? She's bombed away?
Yeah, she left us. Maybe we can get her to come back.
It's ThreeBomb, baby. You got loads of people supporting you, ThreeBomb.
Yes.
So next guest comes on. Okay, well, we'll see, But dynamic young lady, and I know, ladies and gents, that you have to have taken away something from this energetic, this conscious, this. She's arrived at this moment in time as much as she can arrive. Seriously, we've got so much that we can learn. We can take away her energy and just infuse that energy into our life as we go into a new week. And what is it you want to do? And the conversation with her tied in so much with the conversation that myself and Shauna were having prior to that. And it's just this energy of just pure empowerment and upliftment and like, whoosh.
Yes. Yes.
So what are you going to do after this, my superhero sister? Come on.
What am I going to do? I'm going to get this playlist together for Weekend Radio and go ahead and add that song to that playlist.
Yeah.
Play that song. Make sure I put her out there because her message is powerful, especially from such a young lady, and she's at the perfect place because she's right in the middle because she's influencing the youngers and she's influencing the old. So it's like, we all can meet her on the same common ground and understand the message that we haven't been told. Like we were told, use what you got to get what you want, but we stopped there. We didn't say at the end of, but make sure what you want is yours.
Own it. It's about owning it now and have permission to own it. And that's why I said, for people to hear what we're saying, or whoever you're drawn to know that there are people with a different narrative and different messages out there, and maybe it's time for you to expand into that knowledge and awareness of this is refreshing. Can I really? Actually, she's doing it. He's doing it, and it just brings in this whoosh, and then we can put down our fear because fear can keep you trapped in the place and. And even though you're seeing that ThreeBomb moving along like this, you're like, damn, she got energy. I want to get there. Fear can keep you there. But, there's this image. I don't know if you've seen this image, and it's of being on this mountaintop, and there's a black guy, and he's blindfolded, and his partner, she's blindfolded, and they're holding a baby. And they're about to step off this mountain, and this invisible hand is underneath. That is powerful.
Yes.
That is so powerful because it's almost like just put one foot in front of the next. And I remember interviewing Lamont McLemore from the Fifth Dimension a couple of years ago. And he said that his grandmother said, she goes, because I think she was trying to encourage him to just do something. And that's how she goes, just put one step, just put one foot in front of the next. That's all you do.
That's it.
You keep moving.
That's it. That's why I laugh about, talk about the kid in me. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. When the wizard lost his power, he didn't know what to do. And Santa Claus told him, you just put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. And then they started singing it, and they started going. And if Rita Hall was here, she would bust out laughing because she always says that to me. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. She said, you know how you do it. Then she starts singing. You just put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. But you have to understand when to let go of fear and when to have faith. I always tell everybody, don't forget everything and run. Because that's what fear is. FEAR, forgetting everything and run. Don't do that. Have faith and move forward because it's a mirage. It's only there to stop you from where you're supposed to be going.
And if evidence appearing real, they say.
That's it right there. All day.
But sometimes fear can. It's just like one day last year in this pandemic, I noticed it was, I think, 4 times that whole time because I managed the whole process by just moving through, doing what I needed to do. And like I said, exercise has always been exercise and dance. I just put on some music, I would work out. Right. I remember one day, I think it was around Christmas, I'm like, how am I going to manage? I don't have money. I've got to buy this, pay that. But then I found myself all of a sudden just spiraling. I'm like, what am I thinking? And I don't know with you, Shauna, but sometimes what I felt at that moment in time, and I've felt it a few times in my life, I could literally feel myself tripping And I had to catch it. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What am I thinking? And so I did another workout. That workout didn't do anything. And then I went for this walk. And so just by the breathing and the breath work, because breathing is important when you're under pressure and stress. So I started to go into this breathing mode. And I must have walked for an hour. And just to this, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? And I was able to just pull myself up from that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easy because you're there before you. How did I get here? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But I always say, have your Mary Poppins tool bag. What's in your Mary Poppins tool bag? Okay, maybe meditation, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's dancing, maybe you need to pick up the phone. But what is in your Mary Poppins toolkit that's going to allow you or support you as you go through this?
Yes.
Or even like Dorothy there's no place like home. There's no place like
home. Yeah, exactly. What is it about you? What is your magical gift? God gave me my smile. I laugh about that all the time. I believe that's what encourages me to get through me when I'm in my moment. It's like I look in the mirror and I smile back at myself.
Okay.
And when I smile back at myself, my smile helps me to lift me up. I remember I was maybe about 1. I was having my first baby photo shoot, 1 or 2. And I was crying. I looked pretty with my little pink dress and my little flyaway bang. I was cute. I was on my little horse. I was cute. But at one point, I think what probably happened was I must have wanted to get back on my horse and they wouldn't let me. And I started crying. And my cousin told me, she gave me a mirror. And she said, ooh. And I was crying. She said, pretty. And I started looking at myself and I started admiring myself. And immediately I stopped crying. And she was like, you don't like the way you look in the mirror, then stop crying. And always say pretty. And I can say it, I'm about to be 50 in November. Yeah, child, I'm about to be 50 in November. I know I don't look it. I know I look like I'm in my 30s. I know.
I could be your mama.
Really? But but even to this day, I remind myself and I look in the mirror and I go, we're not doing this. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. And I smile and I go on about my business. Not saying that it don't hurt.
Yeah.
So I guess what's in my Mary Poppins bag, as you said, would be my mirror. Yeah. I look at my mirror and I say, I don't like what I see. Because remember, I always say, it's behind my eyes. It's not what you say. It's not your perception. It's mine, that where my destiny and my story lies. It's behind my eyes. So it's what I'm going to perceive is us to become, where we are to go. But I find when those moments, the hardcore moments that you spoke about, when that whoosh come, I go by the water.
Yes.
And I just look out into the water. And sometimes where I go, I may see a freeway, or I may see people walking, or I may see the cargo going through. But I wait for nature to say something.
Yes.
And I just look around at the trees and I just keep looking until I hear something that makes sense to what I'm dealing with. And that's when it makes sense. And I remember one night I was so hurt and a cargo came through and I was watching the water and I noticed that the ripples was coming through and the ripples started waving out and it started causing disturbance in the water. And after the heavy load came through, the water came back and it was settled. And I was like, okay, so you're saying this is going to pass. I get it. It's heavy right now. It's causing a terrible ripple in my life. Okay, but don't worry. Just the boat is almost through. And then it's come back. And I was like, it's those little things that come through. I know that probably was real deep for somebody. And probably like, look, I probably wouldn't even look that far into it. But you never know what God uses to talk to you when you need to talk to yourself, when you can't talk to nobody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even Ron. That's okay, Ron. Thank you. Hopefully she'll be on soon.
Yes.
be on soon. We got literally about 20 minutes before she's on. And, even for that, I mean, people laugh at certain things. I mean, I like to hug trees. I mean, it depends. Sometimes I got to do it a little like, I'm just leaning back against this tree. But even the energy that you feel from that, and nature is a great healer, because in the silence and the peace, and sometimes you don't even have to do anything other than just to be in the space, and then the space encompasses you. And the peace that comes over you. So for you, it's water. I mean, I love water, but just walking as well. I'm a walker. I'm a Dr. Martin girl, and I'll walk for ages, because in the flow of walking, you almost get into a meditative state with you pounding the pavement. You go into this flow, and whatever you can put into your Mary Poppins bag, because some days the water may work, some days I might need something else.
Right.
But having that Mary Poppins bag where you've got a place to go to, and you can, along the way, just grab all these tools and just keep topping up. And sometimes it may be that you just go and have a bath. I use Epsom salts and Himalayan salts, because Epsom salts, detoxes and helps to with aching muscles, and Himalayan salt puts back the nutrients into the body. So whatever works for you. I mean, I've got a dog as well, so sometimes if my workout doesn't work, then I'll take the dog for a run. And so it's just about having options.
Yeah. I think what else goes in my bag is my car keys.
Get off and just drive.
And I just drive. I make sure I have a tank full of gas and just drive. Before my medical condition, I could drive for hours without, now, when as you become seasoned, different things you're able to do, you don't do anymore. But I will put a candle on and just turn down lights. If it's summertime, open the windows and just play music.
Yes. Yeah.
And I guess that's why I love a jazzy moment, because depending on the mood of the music and a different tempo.
Yeah.
And then I could just disappear. It's like I literally disappear, and it takes me on a trip like the book does. When you open up a book and you read a book, and the book could take you, it would take you to a place where you'd be like, wow, I swore I was there.
Yes, you immerse yourself.
Yeah, but the music, I get lost in it, and then I find peace within it, and then I come out of wherever I'm at. And so, yeah, car keys and music. Yeah, that's in my Mary Poppins bag. I like that Mary Poppins bag. I have to go get me a Mary Poppins bag. Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, well, whilst you're looking for your Mary Poppins bag, I think I'm going to play some more music so that you can immerse yourself in it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther, with the lovely Shauna Hall-Williams on LN Soul Radio. Just waiting for Beth to materialize, but whilst we're waiting for her, I'm going to play her new track now, which is called Got Next, and it's featuring
is our time. Y'all had a chance to shine, and we'll be cutting y'all in front of that line. You either out or you riding. My homie right beside me with a hustling persona.
Loving that fun.
What? Yes.
Woo! I got next.
Yes, Angie. Next. That's right. That's positive energy right there. I ain't mad at what you doing. I ain't worried about what you doing, because guess what? You gonna be moving to the side because I gotta be on there because you've been sitting there for quite some time, but now it's my turn.
I'm gone. Oh, brilliant. I'm just loving the energy on the show today. It's, if nothing that you take away, if you're watching this, if there's nothing that you take away, is just as Nike says, just do it. Just do it. And Beth has a story to tell. But I remember I interviewed her some years ago, and she just talked about coming into the industry and how she was perceived, and some of the things that she had to go through in terms of getting to accept certain aspects of herself. And now she is she is rocking it. She is rocking it. So Beth, we've literally got probably about 15 minutes left before the end of the show, but never mind. I can always bring you back on another time. I'm going to be taking some time out, ladies and gents, throughout the month of July. Maybe do the show next week because there's some young artists that I really want to get my teeth into. But no, we went a little bit of hot sauce, as we say in Barbados, some hot sauce.
For sure.
A little hot, as we say in Barbados, a little hot sauce, some flying fish and some cuckoo, and they would taste all right. But I'm going to be taking July off because I just need to take some downtime to recalibrate, coming back with a totally new look for the show. And, lots of great stuff coming up over from, I would say, August, September. So as they say, watch this space. But whilst I'm waiting for Beth to come on, just to let you know that my magazine, Turning Point to Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing, the summer issue, will be out mid-July. So keep an eye out on Facebook, Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing. Got some fabulous articles on that. And for this particular issue, it's called #Black Royalty. And the theme of that, it's more so, I'm doing it in collaboration with Street Flair, and we wanted to bring a fresh narrative to say, now is the time to step into purpose. As we were talking about, now is the time. A lot of that old narrative, a lot of us are not judging anyone, but we just can't carry that anymore, because people now want to leave a legacy for their children, and we can. And as collective, if we individually do the work on ourselves, then as a collective, can you imagine how powerful we can be to move whatever agenda forward? And so basically that's what the magazine is about. Like I said, I've got some really empowering interviews. Got Tony in there. I've got Terence Thompson, who's going to be in there. And then I've got a griot, an African griot, who's a storyteller. But then I've got someone who's a psychotherapist. So I've got people who are going to give all the different angles that will support you if you want to move forward, if you want to step into this power that you hold. There are lots of different people that can support you, different practitioners with their story. So you can go to www.turningpointmag.com or just follow me on my social medias and you'll see what that's about. And so there's just lots that's going to be happening over the next few months.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Esther. That's hot. That's hot.
It is. And because for me, like you, I'm so passionate about people just recognizing that you can. I'm not saying it's easy, and it's not always easy, because where I am at now, it's not been easy. And I think sometimes people see the end result, but sometimes when you're battling things behind, but there's this tenacity, the lioness within me says, down but not out, man, down but not out. And that's also why I love interviewing lots of these legends and pioneers, because when you listen to them, sometimes, like I interviewed Sister Sledge about, I think it's 3 years ago, when they lost their sister Joni, and they had to perform a week after she died. I said, how? Just like Eddie Levert from the OJs, he lost 2 sons with a span of 2 sons within the span of 2 years. And yet he's still, I said, how? How? And you said something earlier, which was really poignant. You talked about, the experience that we've had as a people and what they went through. And yet some of them lived till 80, 90, 100. And they, you get in maybe a few hours sleep, you're being fed, poorly, minusculely, and you're living to that age after being beaten, whipped. Come on now. Yes, we can.
That's it. That's the part. We've been taught for so long that we couldn't and that we didn't.
Absolutely.
But then, I like to analyze things. I don't know if that's the analyzer in me.
That's good, because I get told I'm deep as well, so analyze away.
When I sit there and I look at 2020, and I keep going back to 2020 because I'm trying to say something. The 0 recommends is a completion, is done. It's done. And then 21 came. 1. You start all over again. But how are you starting over? The world was shut down. It was the reset button. How are you starting over? You have been told for so long what you could not do. Now you see, yes, you can. So now that you know that you can, what are you going to do? Don't let nobody feed you to believe that you can't. Because as I always say, it's recorded. And you cannot be conscrewed now. We are showing it live and in person. You can rewind it and fast forward it. It's being shown. We can do it. You can do it. And yeah, you see the end result. Have the conversation and ask, how did we do it? We could talk about it and tell it. You never know. Your story may fall right in there. We may be what you need to get up off the sofa and say, all right, I sat down with Esther and I had a conversation. It's time for me to go. Like ThreeBomb said.
Yes.
She stepped out. She felt she couldn't because she was shy. Realized there was another tap entrance I could tap into and do what I could unexpectedly do. And look at her. She's on fire.
She is. She is.
The words, the songs that you painted today, I don't even know if you noticed it. Even though in the content, the song may not fit, but the message still remains. It ain't easy, but know that you're free to do it.
Yes.
And it doesn't come at an age. You can be however old you are, and the message still is the same. That's my takeaway from today's show. It ain't easy. It comes in all ages. We're all affected by it. So you can no longer say, oh, they don't know nothing about it, y'all. They too young to understand. No, I think they get it more than we do.
They do, and they're more open. They're more open. Anyway, we've got Beth coming on now.
Yes, great.
Beth.
Hey!
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I've had a day. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Okay, we'll start with you.
Hi, Esther. How are you?
I am good. I'm sort of thinking, okay. I don't mind going over time a little bit because, we've got you here. Shauna, if you don't mind, another sort of 10 minutes after 10.
I'm good. We good. Go for it.
We can go for it. Oh, bless you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have Beth Griffith-Manley on the show today. A woman, she's got a Mary Poppins bag because there's so many things that you could pull out about this young lady, and I just feel really privileged to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And this lovely lady, I'm going to introduce you, Shauna. She's sort of co-hosting with me today. It's the first time
to meet you. I am so excited to talk with you. Yes. Yeah. The whole aura is like, I'm here. What? I do this. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I had the privilege of meeting Beth, I think it's 2 years ago at the Hall Awards at Beverly Hills. Yes. And, I always remember you standing very quietly and serenely on the red carpet. And I looked over, I thought, you portray this energy of epitome of grace. You had on this long fitted black dress with, I also remember the V-neck, very simple, but very stunning and effective. And I remember thinking, I thought, who is that? And I was doing all these interviews. Oh, I wonder who that is. And that's when we first met. And I've been tracking you periodically to see what you've been bringing out, because I would say over the past 2 years more, I feel you've really been out there a lot more, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. So without further ado, without my bamble and rambling, I'm going to ask you, who is Beth in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell? Yeah.
Right. I know we're pressed for time.
That's okay. Just brief. I'll give you the full half hour. I'll just go a little bit over time. That's cool.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to be here, and I know meeting you in LA at the HAL Awards for the first time. I met you, and I think we tried to connect again after that, and something happened and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I've been working over the past 2 to 3 years, I think. I don't quite remember what year that was, but I had just kind of started getting acclimated with the HAL Awards, and just kind of giving you some of the background. My father was affiliated with Motown. He was one of the Funk Brothers.
Yes.
So that's how I end up going to the HAL Awards, just to carry on the legacy that my father left for me, because the people that are there at the HAL Awards, the people that are behind the scenes, like Janie Bradford,
yes.
Claudette Robinson, those are wonderful, iconic ladies in the business that are some of the people that started music, because they were there in the beginning of Motown. And because they worked with my dad, they took me under their wing and just continued to encourage me to go as a solo artist. And what I was really doing was just being a background singer. And I was really fully immersed in background singing around the time that you met me, but I was starting to come out with my own music. I think with over the past 2 years, with me kind of deciding that's what I wanted to do, that's when I put out my first album in 2017, and then ended up going on season 16 of The Voice in 2019.
Yeah.
And then we have 2020, which is a pandemic, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, well, actually, no, I did The Voice. The Voice actually started for me
2020 November.
It started 2018 with the audition process and going through everything. And at that time, I was like, I want to be a solo artist. I want to do something different. I want to try to change the trajectory of my career and change what I'm doing, and just try to get more exposure. So that started in 2018. The show actually aired in 2019. I'm off the show. I'm working like crazy. I love it. And I'm still balancing that with my background singing, because I was still doing that. And then we had the pandemic, but I continued to work and put music out. And I'm really excited because I just haven't stopped.
Yes, absolutely.
And trying. And, there's things that happen and hiccups and everything. But I've been having a great time. I've had some wonderful people that I've worked with. I spent 5 years touring with Anita Baker, and that was great. And then I still work with Kim, and we're going on probably 9 years with him. And then me doing my solo work. And I'm just enjoying the journey and the process of me learning myself and learning the gifts that I have. So it's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that is so good, because I remember I think I did manage to grab a short interview with you some years ago, because I think at the time you were going through this, I would just say challenge, for want of a better word, in terms of, as you're coming into being a solo artist, trying to find your feet, find yourself around that. Is this me? Do I have the courage to really step out there? Can I really hold that space as a solo artist? Somebody wanted to be in the background, and now you're like, okay, here I am, because I got next.
I mean, it's really that. It's a whole thing, because, one of the reasons why I wanted to be a background singer was because I felt like I was not going to have the same amount of pressure on me. I still get to be on the stage. I still get to dress up. I still get to wear makeup. I still get to do all this fun stuff. You still get to tour, but you don't have the pressure of the person up front. But I always had these wonderful, supportive, amazing people in my life that kept pushing me to go forward. And they were like, no, you need to. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll try. But just how you were like, I don't know if I want to, and I'm creeping out there looking And I had to eventually say, hey, either I'm going to do this or I'm not. And if you go out there looking like this, people are going to not take you seriously.
Feel it. Yes.
They feel your energy. They feel your commitment to what you stepped up to do. And I want people to feel the commitment that I have to music. I want people to feel the commitment that I have to myself and the commitment I have to keeping my father's legacy. That he left me an incredible legacy to American music. So I was like, I need to give to American music too. Shoot, my daddy did. You know, I need to do it too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Shauna?
Yeah, her story sounds so much like Claudette King. The fact of, you know, your father's legacy and then having to step out on you. And it was like, okay, I knew what your father could do, but can you match it? And it's like, wait a minute, I'm me, he's him. Yes. But how did that work for you, being the fact that, you know, your dad was who your dad was and you are who you were? How did that energy work for you?
Well, it's a balance because, for one, my father didn't want me to do this. So there was a thing where, you know, neither one of my parents did. You know, they were like, go to college, get your degree, get a job, and just, you don't need all that drama and stress. And I was like, okay, I'll go to college, I'll get my degree, and I'm still going to be singing. So I couldn't not do what felt natural for me to do. And it feels so natural for me to do. It felt like I was totally going against the grain, doing a traditional job. So I had to do what felt natural. And that's the crazy thing. When you do what feels natural, sometimes it's the hardest thing to do. Because it's easy for me to just get up, punch a clock, go sit in a cubicle and do my job. But it didn't feel good. And I love what I do. Even the challenges, the no's that I receive, the rejections, I'm still okay with it. I'm like, okay, they don't like me, but somebody else will. And you just gotta.
Yes, that's what we've been talking about. This is incredible, because this has been the theme, literally, of the show from start to finish. That stepping out on your own, stepping out into your power. Come on, peeps, you've got to be inspired today by something on here to step out. Like Nike says, just do it. And Beth, you know, my last guest, she is cementing what we've been talking about now. If that ain't saying a message that I'm gonna seriously, if that ain't cementing the message that I believe God, the universe, because like I said, people have different things. If that's not cementing the message of, you know, now is your time, coming through 2020, that was the reset, as Shauna keeps saying.
Yes.
And you know, I know it's painful for a lot of people. Like I said, a lot of people lost their jobs, they lost family, but it's still a reset, man. And we don't, like someone said, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But today, if you just think, I want to change something now, when you put one foot down, like Beth has said, it's not been easy. And all of us can kind of attribute to that. It's not been easy, but you're following your heart and you're following your dream.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone wants to leave this earth, die, and know that you didn't do everything you wanted to do. Or it's almost like, you know, that's so dramatic what I just said. But so think about this, ladies, you can relate to this. Stopping, you see that pair of shoes.
Honey, wait a minute. You didn't say the magic word. Shoes.
You should have.
Dr. Martin's
way, right? You don't get the shoes, and you be like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and get them. You go back and they're gone. Are you sick? Are you not sick? Are you not sick?
Auntie, I'm trying to tell you.
So
it's gonna be a problem in the store.
And you calling around, you looking online, trying to find those shoes that you feel were for you, but you didn't act when you should have acted. And
I'm preaching. Girl, you preaching. You're gonna make me go find me my church hat, my church fan. I'm gonna get the organ. I'm gonna start playing. The church choir is singing.
But it's the truth. We need
it is.
Sometimes there are some things in life that we need to be slow to move on, and we need to look and to watch. And then there's some things you be like, that's my size. They might.
You're gonna slip it out.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what it is. And then we still have to have the discernment to know when we're supposed to act and when we're not supposed to.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, well, I'm going to go on eBay because I'm going to still try.
I'm still mad at the pair of Amazon shoes that they told me they sent me and I ain't never get, and then they ain't had no more in stock. I'm still upset about that.
See?
And I moved on my one.
Yes,
eBay.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, so those are things that we have to think about in life.
Yeah.
You know, you have to decide on whether you going after that trendy look or that classic look. What's going to outlive what you know, the decisions in your life, what are they going to be? Are you doing something for the moment? Are you doing something to set you off or set you up for the rest of your life? And so those are things that you have to consider when you're going for your dream, you know?
Yeah. And you know, there's something that I feel we all have experienced and we've all become as part of this journey, that knowing that to go after what you want is not always easy. But that's where you're honed, you know, you got the fire that's honing you. And the decisions that you're making, the steps that you're taking, sometimes you ain't got shoes on, literally. You know, you're walking on the gravel, you're walking on the stones, but it's almost like, do you really want it? And sometimes that's your test. How bad do you really want this? How bad? Because then when you reach there, and you know, there's still different levels, but when you reach wherever there is, then you appreciate it more because you know what you had to do to get there. You don't take it lightly. And so with your journey, Beth, you know, it seems that homecoming into, okay, this was my father, this is what he represented, this is even my parents didn't want this for me, but this is what I want because this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. This is what's nurturing my heart. This is what's nurturing my soul, and whatever it takes. And I feel sometimes people have to understand is life ain't always going to be, you know, you ain't always be this platter of waffles and whatever. Because, you know, I forget sometimes that people just expect it to be easy or, you know, but no, who has
they
it?
try one time and it doesn't work and they're like, oh, forget it. It's like, no, you have to try 100 times.
Yes.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit more about I played Free. That's one of my favorite tracks because
that's my theme song. That's my theme song. You're going to see me walking in the park to that song one day. You're going to see the video. Yes, honey. Yes.
And I might just play a clip of it again because it sort of embodies what we're talking about. Yep. Just the freedom to do what you want to do, just the freedom to do what you're feeling to do. It may not be easy, but there's a freedom in honoring that space within you that says, I need to be free no matter what I have to go through to get there. So what was your take on doing Free? Where was that coming from at the time, Beth?
Well, first of all, Free was off of my first album called Free. And that was one of the first songs that I worked with a producer named Cordell Walton. I had the most amazing time working with him. And I'll never forget, I was going through a time where, like you just said, Esther, the transition to me being a solo artist and totally embracing it. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm getting ready to put this album out. Am I going to be able to live up to this? Am I going to be able to perform this? Am I going to be able to be everything that I am portraying in social media and these pictures when I come out live? Is this going to be really authentically me? And what do I really want people to know about me and how am I really feeling? So at the time, I think I felt really bound. I felt really restricted. I felt that I was being pushed in a direction that I necessarily didn't want to be pushed in. I had somebody working with me at the time that was really giving me direction and advice, but it was it was forced. And then there were some things in my life, you know, things dealing with family, you know, things that you see in your family. And at the end, I was just like, I want to just be able to be free and just sing and just do what I want to do. And I remember working with Cordell Walton, and he was sitting at the keyboard. He was like, what do you want to work on next? And he just sat there and started playing, just literally just playing whatever. And I said, wait, what was that? I like that chord. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, you like that? And he was like, well, let me see. Is this a happy song or is this a sad song? I said, you know what? I don't know. I said, but I wanted to end up being happy. I want to tell a story of getting to happiness And I picked up pencil and paper, and we literally just wrote that song just like that, because it was a purging for me and me describing exactly how I feel. You know, that line, every day I look in the mirror looking back at me, I see a girl, you know, all that. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I just want to be happy. Like, that was so true. I was describing what I felt when I got up in the morning. Some days I got up and I looked at myself and I was like, this is not working. And then some days I was like, okay, we cute today. You got the days, but I wanted it to be consistent. You know, I didn't want so I'm like, if I'm free, if I'm really happy with myself, if I really love my genuine self, I can look in the mirror every day, and whatever I see, know that I'm okay and it's going to be okay. So that was what free was. It was just purging, and was like, this is what I'm about to do. This is how I'm about to be. Like, forget y'all. So, yeah.
Wow. I'm going to play, but I need to put that on again, because I mean, I can't even speak now. I'm just going to, because
I sometimes cry when I listen to that song. I'm like, the place that I was and the place that I am now, free is still pertinent. The lyrics are still pertinent. It's like an affirmation song to me. When I listen to it, I'm affirming that I am still free, because, you know, we still got to convince ourselves, and we still have to talk to ourselves to keep ourselves on track. You know, when people say I don't talk to myself, if you don't, you need to.
Talk to myself.
You need to, because sometimes you got to say, hey, you're not.
Yeah.
So that's an affirmation song for me to say, hey, look in the mirror and love what you see. And if it's something you don't like, fix it.
I'm going to play. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back. We're going to be
Every day I look in the mirror looking back at me. Ooh, I say a girl so full of life, she just wants to be happy. Ooh, I've been through some things, been through the storm and rain, and I know I just gotta release it. Ooh, time can heal a wound, time can heal the pain, but will I be whole again? Wanna be free, let it go and be free. I wanna be free, let it go and be free. I've been through some things that was gonna change. No more crying as of today. Gotta let it go.
Let it go and be free. Wow.
You gotta let it go.
Let it go and be free. Stunning.
And you gotta be whole. You know, one of my favorite lines is, you know, time can heal a wound, time can heal the pain, but will I be whole again? Because sometimes pain, tragic things happen to us. We don't heal, we don't recover. And we carry those wounds, and we carry that baggage around with us, and we don't recover from it. And then we take it to the next thing, and we take it to the next thing. We take it to the next person. And then next thing you know, somebody telling us we crazy. It's because we haven't left that where it's supposed to be. So we still need to deal with the pain, love ourselves through it. This is a lot. Leave the pain where it's at. Replenish and be whole, which means you have to always have yourself around the right people that can put into you and help you heal, and then you move on to the next thing, and that other thing is a memory.
She was here earlier. She was here earlier. You was here. She was here earlier. Beth was here.
That's what we were talking about. I mean,
I promise you I wasn't.
She was here. She know about the mirror and the Mary Poppins bags. I'm done with her. I'm ready to leave. I'm done with y'all two. It's time for me to go back to the US. I gotta go. I can't deal with these two right now. I just
see. I mean, this is a very powerful conversation, because then you're infusing everything that you've spoken about into your music. So that's another vehicle of expression. And you know, coming away, sort of moving from that single free to now Got next. Got next.
Once you know and love yourself and have purged and released it, you can fly and go get what you're supposed to get.
See, I've been telling you about my Batman. That's where my cape comes in.
Yeah,
I'm getting the cape.
If you're carrying all that weight, you can't go get it. You're too heavy.
What did we say about the water? What did we say about the water? And what did we say about the cargo and the heaviness? Beth, I don't want to talk to you no more. I can't. I can't. Honey, we cannot talk to you. Oh my God. Woo, girl, you're making my ears itch and you're making me get goosebumps. And it is the truth. And I'm applauding you for it because you just confirmed everything that we said. And if nobody didn't hear it from us, because I truly am a firm believer that we are all here and we put our voices because somebody may not relate to us saying it, but they may relate to someone else. And we have been on here talking about this and now they hear it from you. Wow. And you just confirm everything we just said. So it's like, if you don't believe it, Beth not only sang it to you and wrote it 2016, we played it back for you today, and she's reinforcing it today. Where is your one? Because you're on your one, and like you said, you got next.
Yeah. Oh, you can't go get the next thing because you're gonna go into it damaged, and it's not gonna be right.
Girl, you done made my system freeze. My whole system just froze.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's what it is. My second album is done. I'm so excited for that to come out. And the same producer that I work with, with the Free album, he's on there. I brought in a new producer named Marcus Divine. I totally love working with him. And I have been totally able to just spread my wings and feel so much more free to be Beth and to just express myself and I can talk about love more on this album because I'm open to feel love. Now here's the thing, I'm been married, but that don't mean you feeling love and getting love the way you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Or processing love the right way because you got pain from other things. So now things are just gravy.
Oh, now she's been on my So now she was on my playlist. Now she was on my playlist from earlier because I just got finished saying, "How do you keep the music playing?" And she just said, "You think marriage is?" Beth, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know if I'm gonna talk to Beth. Natalie, understand what I'm saying? Natalie got on the screen,
right? Natalie, it's the truth. You can be in a relationship and not get what you're supposed to get because something wrong with you.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You think it's them, and a person can only love you the way they know how to love you. So then that's the thing that you have to talk about that. You have to tell them what you need, and then but if you're broken and damaged, you can't tell them what you need.
You can't because you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. You don't
you're
understand.
Walking around with your fist balled up, and you don't have your hands open to receive. And
how about you got your fist balled up for a fight and it ain't no fight?
Ain't no fight.
What you're gonna get? You're gonna attract whatever you're doing. You're gonna get. You're gonna attract that type of experience, that fight in your relationships. Yeah. And I feel so many people are afraid of. They see it as being vulnerable. But when you know that there's a power in that vulnerability, there's a power because you mentioned the word authentic so many times. And, that is the platform. I like I was saying to Shauna earlier, I interviewed a griot yesterday. She's an African storyteller. That's my dog, sorry. I interviewed an African storyteller yesterday, and she talked about self-love revolution. That's where it's at, the self-love revolution. The I is the collective we, because then when we go on that journey with ourselves, and sometimes, like Shauna says, if you don't hear the message from me, you can hear. If you're hearing a similar message from someone else, it gives you the opportunity, it gives you the permission, and it's almost like, God or the universe is talking to me through these people, man. I've heard the message this way, I've heard the message that way, I put on the TV and the message is the same. maybe I need to be listening. Maybe I need to be still. And it says, you know, be still and know that I am God, or within silence, wisdom whispers. Allow yourself to be still in that space and trust.
Yeah, you will always get a sign on where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do. It'll come, but you have to be, your mind has to be clear and open to be able to see stuff. Because if you can't hear that, you know. Right. So yeah,
brilliant.
That's just wow. Well, this is crazy because you said this is what you guys have been talking about today.
It has been, yes.
All day.
From the time I started the show, this has been the theme and the message. And then ThreeBomb, this young 21-year-old came on, and she sort of continued the thread even before we even knew the thread was there. And now you've come on, and you're finished. You've taken up the baton, and that's why I had to go over to playing the track, because I'm like, seriously? And everything you took, the mirror, the smile, and I was looking at Shauna. I'm like we talked about this.
I'm trying to tell you. And then Esther wasn't even with me on my show, but my playlist is exactly according to what we are talking about today. My entire playlist today that I played is related to everything we're talking about right now. And it goes right back to what my go catchphrase is. The message is in the music, but did you get caught up in the beat? Because whatever you are listening to is telling you how you can get through this life. How can we? And it's been that way from centuries. Our ancestors taught us. Everything we done was in the voice of a music. We told our stories. We gave our messages. Everything that we need, we taught. Look, hey, I learned how to spell encyclopedia from singing it.
Yes.
Wow. That's how we learn. Yeah, we learn songs when we're little. Singing the songs and learning our ABCs, we had to sing them.
Had to sing it.
Who gonna remember 26 letters and you're that little? You gotta sing it, make it.
You gotta sing it.
Yeah.
But as I'm listening to everything you've done, and also kudos to you. If I may, for just a moment, Esther, if I may.
Oh, you may, absolutely.
On the radio show that I do over in the UK, it's called Weekend Radio. I have a segment from 3 to 4, because I'm on from 1 to 4, but from 3 to 4, I do a segment called "Oh No, She Didn't." "No, Yes, She Did."
Oh, wow.
And what I do is I'll play a song that you may not have known was a cover or the original cover.
Okay.
And I featured you. I did. But I featured you before I even knew you.
Wow.
Oh, man, I'm sitting here. So when I heard you was doing Free, I was like, why do I know that song? I know that song. I was like, oh, that's on my playlist. I was like, wait a minute.
That's her.
I did her. Because not too many people know about Chapter 8 with Anita Baker.
Right.
And they didn't know that she wrote the song, "I Want to Be Your Girl." And that was my old school jam.
She didn't write it.
See that?
She didn't write it.
See that? But she sang that song.
She sang it. See, that was one of the things people don't know. I did that cover because the producer, Michael Powell, wrote that song. And that's how I was able to do it, because I probably wasn't going to get clearance from her to do it.
Wow. And then knowing that she's going through something right now for rights. So you got something to look. I can even talk about this again on Monday. See?
That, and I got, I caught a little bit of flack from that. People were like, why she do that? Why would she think she could sing like, and I'm like, I'm not trying to sing like Anita.
No.
I was not trying to, but part of it was I had toured with her for many years.
Okay.
I got a chance to be around her, be in her space. And the producer who actually wrote the song was who introduced me to her. He got me the job with me being her background singer.
Okay.
He happens to be a really good friend of mine. And he came to me and asked me to do the song. He took me in the studio, coached me through the entire session, and produced the song for me to do. So people don't know that. They think, because sometimes artists will get a song and they'll do the cover and they'll go in the studio themselves. Michael Powell, the founder of Chapter 8, the producer of I Just Want to Be Your Girl, the writer of I Just Want to Be Your Girl, took me in the studio and had me do that song.
Wow. And I love the way you did it. And I have nothing against covers. And what I say about covers is, it's not about like we do with our dresses. Well, who did it better?
Right.
You gave your spirit and your soul to something that you enjoy, and you gave it another flavor. Like, you know, I treat it like the gospel. I treat it like my pastor say with the gospel songs. Once you write it, it belongs to everybody after that. You know? Everybody's singing it. But, you know, I did that because I was showing them the new flavor and the, you know, and the original flavor. And I do that with everybody. And I'm like, see, you thought that was the cover. You didn't know that was an original. And I was talking about how you sang that song.
Thank you.
And then I don't have, like I said.
And here I am.
And then here I meet you. See, talking about that inner divine dimension conversation.
And Mike was on my head in that studio too. He made sure that, you know, that song was to his liking. Sometimes an artist will go in and do a cover and the artist does it however they want to. I did that song the way he wanted me to do it. He gave me some parameters in which to work. And then he was like, no, you are going to keep the integrity of this song. You're not going to, you know, change it. I want you to pay homage to Anita, pay homage to Chapter 8. And I'm going to agree with the homage that you're going to do. So I had to do it the way. And I appreciate him being the way he was with that song. That's a classic R&B song.
Yes, it is.
Those that love Anita Baker and love Chapter 8. And I wanted people to listen to it and know it's not Anita because we don't sound the same, but at least feel like I tried to do justice to the song. You know? So yeah, that was one of the hardest studio sessions I've ever had.
But it was the one that you had that you honored the most. It is the hardest teachers that were the best teachers.
Yes.
And like I said, I applaud you for it. And it wasn't and oh no, she didn't. No, yes, she did. Doesn't say who does it better. It basically it gives it a flavor of understanding. And it's just like what Shaka Khan did with Whitney Houston. I'm honoring the person that did that song, so now I want to do it. I never forget. Timmy Mega said it was a song that Randy did that made him fall in love with not only the song, but wanting to sing, period.
You never know how a song touches people and how it motivates them and wakes up something in them. You just never know.
Honey, it was many times I was looking at guys talking about something. I just want to be your girl. I just want to be your girl. I always wrote letters with songs. And I still write letters and messages and playlists. And I will make it out of a song. Like with yours. Now I'm going to put Free back on my other playlist.
Okay.
Because it's already on my repeat. I have a playlist for everything. It's a playlist that's called Shauna.
Okay.
And on the Shauna playlist, there's songs that I say it's just me. Like I just told Lynn Roundtree last night, he has a song called Me to Me on his new album. And that's on the Shauna's playlist because it's all about me.
Yes. And you know,
and it's that self-love that you say. It's about loving you. And if you can't love you, you're not going to be able to love anybody else or even know what it is to love because you're not loving. You don't know what it is yourself.
You don't know what it is. And you know, you just shouted out Lynn. You know, I know Lynn. Lynn and I went to Dubai together and did a whole concert.
Shut the door.
Yes.
Listen, you guys are going to have this.
Look, I'm gonna have.
I got a song.
You could have
one of Lynn's. I did a song on one of Lynn's albums.
Now I gotta go in his inbox and be like, why did you tell me last night that you knew Beth?
Let me tell you how long I've known Lynn. Lynn, when I was first starting to record, this was way before I knew I was gonna be a solo artist. Lynn and I were working out of the same studio many years ago. So when he started coming out with his stuff and blowing up, I'm so happy for him. Because we were around each other in the very, very, very beginning. And I think 2018, if I'm not mistaken, he had an opportunity to go to Dubai and he took me to Dubai with him. We did a whole outdoor concert. It was awesome.
Wow.
So Lynn will always be one of those artists that I truly love and truly appreciate because I still hadn't really gotten into my soul. I was still figuring it out. And for him to take me overseas like that with him, I love him for that.
So you know what? Esther asked me something earlier.
We got 6 minutes, ladies. I think this is going to be, because I'm going to connect you both outside of this, because
we're gonna make something happen, and Esther's going to come on the plane, and you coming to the States when this happens.
I am. I'm going to say I'm coming on my albatross.
Because you asked me, what do I want to do or where I'm going, and just because of what she said and what I always want to do, and what I always really, really want to do is I want the message to come out the same way that R. Kelly wrote it. Now, don't kill the messenger. Understand the message. And the message was, if I can make the world dance, they would dance like this. And if I can have all of you guys come together, one common place, and we all just have one good jam session of love.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't even gotta host it. Y'all don't even gotta say my name. I just want to be there when it happens. And me and homegirl over here, me and my sofa girl, we're gonna have a sofa on the stage, because that's what it's gonna come from. It's gonna come from the fact that we sat on the sofa and said this is gonna happen.
Absolutely. And I'm coming with my cape. Right.
That's right. That's right.
I'm a superhero, Beth. And I know my boys will probably watch this and think, oh, she went on air and she's been talking about her cape. Yes, because we're all superheroes. But you've got literally 4 minutes left. Beth, just give us a little bit of insight about Go Next. Just give us a bit of insight. We've got 4 minutes before this broadcast ends. So
okay, I'm really quick. So Got Next is my single that I just released. My second album is coming. Got Next is featuring Swifty McVeigh from D12. He comes from the Eminem camp, and he's from Detroit, and just a great lyricist, and love working with him. And we just gave him a call, asked him to come in and do a feature on it. And we had a lot of fun. We just wanted to motivate people, tell them they got next. We're coming out of this pandemic. Some people are depressed, dealing with mental health, things like that. And we just want to encourage people that if it's something you want to do, you can do it. You got next. You got to apply the work. So
it's what we've been talking about.
Download, streaming. We got a full music video out on YouTube. You can go check it out.
Oh, you've just ended. This is what we've been talking about. You've even used the same words that we've used. I can't believe it. I can't believe this.
Confirmation.
I can't believe it, but I mean, I can't believe it. I'm coming.
Confirmation.
So you need to be looking up then, maybe tonight, tomorrow night with full moon, me and my cape on the albatross.
And I'll see you coming. I'll see you going. I'll be like, oh, there's Esther. Hey, girl. I got you.
And I'm always looking at the moon. I'm always looking at the moon. It ain't because I'm howling, because I ain't a werewolf, but I am always looking at the moon.
There's an energy around the moon. You know, everything's about energy and vibration.
Absolutely.
And when we tune into that, then we can go with the rhythms of the universe and just be, because I believe that the energy has been heightened, and that's what's driving this narrative now. Just go do it now. 2020 the year of lockdown. It was also the year of revelation, and everything we've spoken about now is just saying the time is ready to step in. All the old narratives of the fear, just step in, and once when you be the change, when you become the change, then you attract other people who are like-minded. You can walk together as an army. Come on, let's get this, people. If you haven't got this from Shauna, if you haven't got this from ThreeBomb, if you haven't got this from Beth or myself, get it. We're with you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes left. I'd like to say thank you to Shauna. I've enjoyed having you on.
Thank you so much. I had a good time on this rooftop.
I did too. Thank you
so much.
Thank you for Beth. I'm wishing you all the best, and I'm coming to the States soon. Anyway, I said I got to come in September because I just
Beth, check your DM. I'm great. Come in your DM.
Okay. So thank you, ladies, for having me. Thank you so much.
All the best. And I'd like to say thank you to Anthony B. Williams from Ellen Soul Radio. There's lots of more great shows on Ellen Soul Radio throughout the week. You can go to www.ellensoulradio.com, or you could go onto our Facebook page and you can find out all the information about all the shows there. And like I said, also, I've got my magazine coming out in a few weeks' time. So, there's lots. So on the Sofa with Esther, Ellen Soul Radio, Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine. Shauna also hosts a radio show. Just give people briefly where they can find out about your show as well, Shauna.
You can go on Facebook and you can find me on the No BS Duo Show, not the NO, but the KNOW BS Duo Show, or just go to our .com, tkbsdsproductions.com.
Fantastic. And thank you to all those who've listened in, all your messages. And as we say, like Nike says, just go do it. Blessing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's see. Do I play something out? I'm just going to play out with this.
Catch On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, where she'll be interviewing the finest artists from the past and present, garnished with quality music. So that's On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, right here on LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul, R&B and Chat lives.